Good morning. It's a chilly morning here in Abuja. The rain fell overnight, like all through the night. And as usual, the newspaper review, we are taking it here again from the street. And today again, we are at the Federal Secretariat, Abuja. And we are looking at the national dailies here. And there's a very particular story I have seen so far, but I'm not going to expose that to you yet. So we'll look at it from the newspaper. And then we'll begin our review today. Let's just start it from the Senate leadership tussle, what's been going on so far. And then you have the screaming headline, major to feature on the Nation for today is Senators-elect split over Lawan Goje Ndume. Yeah. Contenders for Senate President intensify strategies for support. Yeah, and that story is on page 7 of the Nation. And above the masthead, you have June 12th day, Nigeria is safe, says Minister. That is also on page 7 of the Nation. Amechi spoke truth. Amechi spoke truth on Igbo president. That is page 40. Captain Yadudu named fans MD. All right, it's like they've got a new MD. All right, Tinubu to elite, Sean insulting utterances, and that is also on page 7. FEC OK's new AU import levies, that is on page 11. Nigerians must respect Ross decision on sports, that is on page 47. And then below the picture story, in fact, the picture story there is that of people protesting alleged killing of a trader by policemen in Kaduna yesterday. It was a huge scene yesterday. And then below that you have protest rocks Kaduna as police stray bullet kills resident. Okay, that is story that accompanies this story picture. You'll find it, all of that, on page 42 of today's Nation. Let's move on to the next paper for today, and we'll try to look at the Sun. Yeah, this is the story I told you. We have something very interesting on the headline there. EFCC, we are probing Governor Okorocha orders. That story is actually on page 10. The EFCC made this known in London yesterday during their interview with Channels Television that they are probing the governor, the ex-governor of Imo State on this corruption allegation. And then just beside the masthead, you have NUJ editors blow hot over NAS attempt to gag press. All right. Information director demands incorporation, 2-year tax certificate orders as condition to cover 9th assembly. That story on page 6. Those are very stringent this is condition for the media. All right. Beside the picture story, you have security agencies dealing with threats to Buhari's government, says the FG. That story is on page 8. AGF prosecutes 2 INEC staff over election fraud. That is actually on page 4. And just behind that, you have protest rocks Lagos over state of Badagry Expressway. And the issue of Badagry Expressway has been a very burning issue. So far, so good. All right, and that is for the Daily Sun. Let's look at blueprints. Blueprints. Major headline there. What they consider to be major headline there is May 29 presidential inauguration. Nigeria safe, secure, says AG. Says we are ready to receive what leaders extend invitation to opposition. Yeah, that story is continued on page 6 of today's blueprint. Nigeria's GDP declines by 0.38% in quarter 1. Right? That is page 34. Benue arrests 76 illegal tax collectors, generates 1 billion naira monthly. And that story also continues on page 13. And then just below the picture story here, you have 4 Nigerians arrested for drug trafficking in India. Another one of those again. Unilorin Dawn invents oil spill mop-up device. Good news for the Nigerian tech industry and the Nigerian oil industry in general. That's on page 15 if you want to know how the device works. 2019 polls, INEC withholds 25 certificates of return to find out those who are affected by that decision. You find it on page 6 of Blueprint. All your teachers begin strike over unpaid salaries, right? And that story is also on page 17. So that is what we will take for Blueprint. Let us look at this, just one sports paper and see what's happening in the sporting world. As you are aware, the transfer market has been declared open. A lot of clubs are going about their business, how to strengthen their teams for the next season. And then we have, just there on the major headline, Chukwueze ready to fight. Villarreal free Nigerian for AFCON, right? So which means you're going to see this young, talented, brilliant man playing for Nigeria. And then just beside that you have Ogbeide. Side news, Ogbeide is dead. Full details of that is on page 4 of today's Sporting Life. And just above that you have PSG's offer tempts Kante. That puts a question mark if he's going to continue at Stamford Bridge next season. And just at the top of the very paper you have Ronaldo wants Jose Mourinho to take over coaching job at Juventus. We'll see if that will happen. Real Madrid fans make Hazard number 1 choice. Reject Paul Pogba. Okay. After all, Hazard has declared his intention to move to Santiago Bernabeu. Liverpool opt for the light move. Yeah, the young man is recently been sought after. And then you have there, Cruz signs new Real Madrid contract, so it means it continues to stay on there. Barcelona rejects Isco. Onyekuru feels blessed after Galatasaray 2-1 victory over Istanbul Başakşehir. Anthony Joshua rejects criticism of Andy Ruiz Jr. And that is that for the sports paper for today. The NAS tussle leadership that has been going so far between Lawan, Ndume and Goje, who do you think will make a better this is Senate president, in your own opinion?
Well, I don't really know much about Goje and so also Lawa. But what I can say is that all over the world, there are some parameters that are supposed to be considered, by the people that have the authorities to choose the Senate president. The Senate president must not be parochial. Am I communicating to you? It must be very patriotic. It must be selfless. So like the past experience we had, it was not palatable, where there was a protracted misunderstanding between the president, between the executive and legislature. We went to relevant fights, the grass suffers, the masses suffered for it. So we're supposed to have learned, from that very bitter lesson. The acrimony, all kind of misunderstanding is not going to help, either in policy making or even tackling the unemployment problem or poverty issue. This is a democracy. This is a presidential system of government where National Assembly cooperation to executive is very germane. It's a fundamental thing for executive to be able to achieve their policies and their goals. No matter how purposeful, how visionary a president is, if it's not enjoying the cooperation of the legislature, he can do little but nothing. So the next Senate president must not be sentimental, it must be highly patriotic, and it must not be parochial. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We have to go back to the studio of Daybreak Africa and meet with Lucy and Sapphire as they continue with today's show. Thank you very much. I'm Victor Tehemba.